today is Earth Day, which is a day that we celebrate all the positive things we can do to help the planet. One of the things that we do in the fashion industry that's really bad for us and for the planet is dyeing clothing. It uses a lot of chemicals and a lot of petrochemicals, and they're really, really bad. So today I'm going to show you how you can use things you've got in your cupboards at home to naturally dye your own natural fibre clothes. So we've got to leave the sunny balcony and go to the kitchen now to start boiling our natural dyes. So to start with, you're going to want some white wine vinegar or white vinegar, and I'm going to be using red cabbage, beetroot, turmeric, avocado pit and skins and blueberries today. And you're going to want a pan for each of the things you're dyeing. So I've got 4 here. I'm going to have to use another one at some point as well. And you're going to want something to dye with. You can only naturally dye with natural fibres. If you dye something 50% natural, 50% synthetic, it will only dye 50% of the fibres. So that's something to bear in mind. And different natural fibres take the dyes differently. So here I've got some washed pieces of bedsheet to show you the different dyes that I'm going to use, but you do have to wash the fabric before just to get any coating off it that it might have had when it was made. So I'm just filling up a bowl here with really hot water, and I'm going to leave my fabric to soak in it whilst I prepare my dyes. You want to get it all nice and wet because this primes the fabric ready to take on as much of the dye as it can when you put it into the pans. So I filled all my pans with a little bit of water because I'm only dyeing small amounts. You'll need to change the amount depending on what you're dyeing and how big it is. It's kind of a trial and error method, and it's good to note down how much of your ingredients you use because that will determine how bright or how weak the dye is. So for turmeric, I'm just going to tip in about 3 tablespoons whilst the water comes to a boil, and you're also going to want to put in a bit of vinegar because it brightens the dye and it makes it look really beautiful. One of the dresses in my last collection was dyed using this method, and we'll put the image on the screen now so you can see it. I like to be quite generous with the vinegar because it makes the yellow super bright and vibrant. It's also helpful to stick some kind of using half of that bottle, and it helps the dye stay in the fabric for longer as well. Okay, when all of your pans are boiling, you're going to want to turn the temperature down and let it simmer for like 40 minutes to an hour. Because I'm using really small quantities, I'm going to do less time. If you're using bigger quantities, you want to do more time. It's a bit like making a stew. You want to make sure that the liquid is really saturated with the colour of the natural dyes. And anything that you want to be brighter, add more vinegar. Whilst you're letting your dyes kind of take shape in the pans, use this time to look up all the amazing things that are happening around Earth Day. Okay, so I've waited 40 minutes. You can see the dyes have already started to take shape. Now you're going to want to enter your fabric that's been priming in the warm water. So take out your primed fabrics. I'm going to separate them, and then I'm going to put them one into each pot. And the important thing is that you have utensils to stir them all around because you want to keep it moving, otherwise you end up with like a tie-dye kind of effect. Okay, so you're going to want to drip it in as evenly as you can. You can start to see it's already going yellow. And then use your utensil to keep moving it around and keep it in the pan for about 20 minutes for a small piece like this. If it's bigger, you'll need longer and obviously more water. The important thing is that you keep it moving. Because I've left my natural vegetables in here, you'll find that you might get some slight marks and things on the fabric, which sometimes can be quite nice. If you don't want these, you just have to drain out those natural parts and then just keep the liquid and use that as a dye. They're all still boiling away for about half an hour. I've turned them off now, and now I'm going to drain them all out and give them a rinse. Being very careful, you're going to want to drain each one individually and then rinse it with cold water and get rid of any excess that you put on there. So now they're all rinsed. This was the beetroot one, so obviously it should be pink, so definitely don't use pickled beetroot. You need to use the fresh ones. Blueberries, beautiful, cabbage is lovely, and turmeric always works so well. It's such an absorbent dye. These have all been rinsed in cold water now to set, and then you're just going to want to leave them to dry. Okay, so you're going to want to leave them to dry, and then you can see the finished results.